welcome to the channel. Something interesting about the Kia Niro plug-in hybrid is that its drive motor, its electric motor, is actually a permanent magnet synchronous motor, which means the part that rotates, which is called the rotor, has permanent magnets on it. And you'd think, because it has a big, a battery on it. All batteries are DC. So you'd think, oh, this is a DC motor. But essentially, all that power from the battery gets inverted so that you can create a rotational magnetic field around those magnets. So at the core of this car, probably every 7 out of 10 miles, are a bunch of magnets chasing a rotating electric field into synchronicity. And when you push down on the throttle, you're changing the frequency of that rotating field, that magnetic field. So that's a three-phase electric magnetic electric field around the rotating permanent magnets. And I find that really fascinating because you could drive power, DC constant power to the rotor, but the car actually has magnets in it. And unlike, say, your internal combustion engine, you have lots of moving parts. We're going to service the oil for the winter at 6,500 miles, which I would never do, but I want to do some winter prep, and I'm going to do a video on this. This car has a really great lower cowl and seems very well protected from the base, but we'll take a closer look at that when we change the oil. But essentially, that's a closer look at the electric motor in your car. It's called a permanent magnet synchronous motor. There is no service schedule for it. There are no fluids in it. If you were to replace it, looks like online you could get a used one with between 5 and 50,000 or 60,000 miles for about $2,000. But if you were just going to replace, say, the rotor, the magnetic rotor, that centerpiece that rotates in this motor here, you could get a OEM or factory part for around $1,500 to $2,000 just for the rotor itself, just for the magnets. So I find that really fascinating because there's nothing to service on this motor, which means, and I will learn, what would be the first things to fail. If you're an electrical engineer or if you understand these mechanical systems better, please comment below. I'm really collecting the most research I can. Mobis is the parts and service, the parts arm of Hyundai and Kia. So you'll see MOBIS on the parts because that is like the parts extension, I think, of this business. And a lot of times they'll be branded like this motor is. There are 4 or 5 factories that make this electric motor in Korea, and it will be branded Kia, Hyundai, and Mobis on it. And anywho, so I hope someone might find this interesting. But yep, thanks for joining me, and I'll see you again for the oil change and for some winter prep under the car. Okay, thank you.